Hi and welcome back to the FreeFormKnits YouTube channel. I'm Haxann Evers, Knit and Crochet whose favorite ways of crafting have led to the world to design. All the places you can find me will be listed right down below this video. This is my crafting channel where I talk about knitting, crochet, yarn hauls, reviews, all that fun stuff. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those videos. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. We are so close to 400 subscribers, which is really cool. I'm so happy that so many of you take some time out of your day to hear me ramble about my crafts. Like I said, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that button. It'd be really cool if we could hit 400 subscribers. So a little disclaimer, I live at home with my family. We're a big family in a not too big space. It's a pretty nice day out, so there is background noise, there are dogs barking, there's a lot of stuff. So I do have a microphone here, which my tripod is not very happy about because the weight of the cord is bringing down the phone, so there might be some adjusting. Yeah, I do my best to edit out all the background noise, but I know it can be annoying, so just a little disclaimer, I do my best. We have quite a bit to talk about. As you can see here on the table, there's stuff on the floor, everything. So we're just gonna get right into the crafty content. So the first finished object, I do have finished objects today. I'm so excited about it. I was really struggling with my crafting. I've talked about it in the past few episodes, just like I was really longing for crochet and just doing a bunch of crochet, but still nothing really, I don't know what I've been wanting in my crafting. There are a lot of things that I've been wanting to do, but just not, but things I think I have to do. It's just been a whole debacle with myself. But I recently started, this year I've kind of taken up, it's not really bullet journaling. Like, I see a lot of pretty bullet journals. I see all the pretty spreads they do. I've tried doing it, but I'm not very good at it. So what really I end up doing is just making lists in a notebook. So I did have a notebook, and it's being pulled down by other books, I'm not going to reach it, that I've filled up. I love notebooks. I just love notebooks. I'm that person that will buy a bunch of small notebooks because they're so pretty. But I tend to hoard them and not use them because I want to use them in bullet journaling, but I'm not a very good bullet journal. So I've recently got over that, just kind of pushed through and making pretty lists. So I did start another journal, and it's in this beautiful binder that I got for Christmas that I haven't used because the journal I was using was too big for it, but now I can use it. And it's got this pretty notebook in it. I'd show you the insert, but it took me an embarrassingly long time to be able to fit this notebook in the binder, even though it's really simple, but whatever. So I made a sort of spread for myself. What I love about this book is that it has a pocket for pens, because there's nothing more annoying than having a pretty journal and realizing you forgot to grab a writing implement. So I made a sort of spread for myself for my crafts, which I was trying to do in my other journal, and it's just a bunch of lists of just whips I already have, things I want to cast on, things I want to finish for this month, and then I have this sort of like what I'm going to focus on each week. What I was doing with my craft rotations is having like a small project, a sock, a sweater, etc. And when I finished something in that category, I could cast another thing on in that category. But I want to cast on a lot of things in that category. So I've kind of been like, okay, focus on this for a week. If you finish it, great. If you don't and you want to cast on something else, go ahead, work on that. To kind of like, I tend to put so many goals on myself, so many things I want to do, but I end up, what happens is there are things that I want to do. There are things that I feel like I have to do. So I don't do the things I want to do because I should do the things I have to do, but I don't want to do those, so I end up doing nothing, which is not productive at all. So this has been really helpful. I also have like a list of things, like ideas of things I could cast on that I don't want to cast on at that moment, but just to write down, and like a list of things I need to get, like yarn, extra skeins, tools, whatever. So this has been super helpful, and I've noticed a difference in my crafting. It's been great. So that kind of inspired me to cast on things and actually have some progress on things, which feels great. So all that to say, into finished objects we go. This was a work in progress last time. This is going to be a new pattern coming out very soon. I'm thinking mid-June, like in a week or two. I'm just going to work on the tutorial. It is this wrap. It is, I'm calling it the granny wrap right now. I want to give it a better name, but also like it's the granny stitch, and I want it to be like you hear the name, you understand what it is. Like I don't want to make it too complicated. So here it is, and it's just super fun, super simple. I'm working on the pattern. It's gonna have a complete tutorial. It's done out of Yarn Bee cotton wheel solids. I had some like scraps, and then I had 2 skeins that I striped for the tips. It's super pretty, it's super easy, and it flew off the hook. I love it so much. And this was the version I had finished a while ago, and it's just a solid version. I wanted 2 samples for the pattern, just so you could really see. It's just like the perfect lightweight accessory for summer, just something to have around your shoulders. I try and put it on. I have my microphone cord hanging in front of me, so I'm afraid of pulling it down and pulling the tripod down. So it's kind of awkward to show this because it's so long, but it's super pretty. This is actually done out of Yarn Bee. Yarntopia, I think. I really didn't like this yarn, to be honest, so I used it's like a fingering acrylic, but it's really splitty, so I used a really big hook and got this perfect drape, and I really love it. So that's kind of like my go-to thing when I have something in my stash that I don't know what to do with, or that I don't particularly like. I just use a bigger hook or needle size than recommended and either double it or just use it all up in something like this. So it becomes like a stash buster, it becomes something instant gratification. Yeah. I love the effect of the center of this. Like, you get this granny square in the center, and yet you get this solid piece. I'm just really excited about this pattern. I'm working on that. I have to do like one last thing for the tutorial, and then it'll be ready to go. So that'll be coming in a little bit. Again, my cord is in the way, so I'm like dropping things, afraid of pulling everything down. But I do have another finished object that I just finished. So something I've been wanting to work on for a long time. I have this Lion brand Trueboo in my stash that, again, is another yarn I don't particularly care for, but it's super soft, and I used a big needle size to knit up a baby vertebrae, and I literally just cast it off a few minutes ago. I ran out of yarn, so I have like a small bit left that was here on the desk, and now I can't find it. So I ended up actually just single crocheting this sleeve stitches off because I ran out of yarn of this color. I could have striped it, but I didn't really want to. I was done. So that was nice and quick, and it feels good to have this one skein out of my stash. I have a little bit more. I could probably make another vertebrae or some other baby item. I haven't woven in the ends yet. I probably won't until I find a recipient for this. Like, there are no babies in the family at the moment, so yeah. It's super soft, and it'll make such a sweet baby item, and it was nice, again, instant gratification. It feels really good to have projects that I want to work on and projects that I can cast off quickly and give me that I've done something feeling. So this is a free pattern. I never remember the author's name. I always have to go to Ravelry to re-download it because for some reason my computer loses it. I made quite a few of these. They're really fun, quick projects, so yep, super pretty. And a finished object, which again feels really good to finish things. So I guess we're on to whips now, which there are quite a bit. First we'll talk about this thing that's laying here. Again, another thing I've been really wanting to make but just didn't get around to because I felt like there are other things I should work on, was amigurumi. So you might recall, if you've been following me for a while, I got this book recently, or not recently, I think November of last year. I got this off of Knit Picks. It's Unicorns and Dragons and More Fantasy Amigurumi. It's so beautiful, and I had a crazy goal at the beginning of this year to make one plushie in this a month. Not too crazy. It's an achievable goal for me. I just never got around to it because of stuff. I don't know. But I've been thinking about making another amigurumi for so long, and I wrote it down, I made the plan, and I have been doing it. So I am making this guy on the cover. I believe his name is Koji? Koji the dragon? Hold on. Koji, is it an L or an I? It's an I. I'm saying it right, I think. Maybe, probably not. A design by DIY Fluffies, Koji the dragon. Super cute. So I'm changing the colors up a little bit because I had green, but I didn't think I have enough green, and I thought it'd be cute to do it in a different color. So I'm doing it in orange, and here is his body. Those patterns in that book call for sport weight or fingering weight yarn. I'm doing out of worsted because I just love doing amigurumi out of worsted. It works up faster, and you get such a great size. Look at that. So some fun shaping going on for his head. I have actually done, like, he's almost done. I've done his all his little pieces, like his front legs, his wings, like the inserts, so his wing inserts are going to be yellow. I've done, what are these? I think these are like the pads of his feet. I've done some of his spikes. I'm a little worried. The only thing I have left to do in the orange is like the outlines of his wings and his back legs. So I'm a little worried about yardage. I might not have enough to do his tail. Let me show you. So his tail, if you see him from the side, like his tail is separate. So it kind of has this slouched position. I don't know if I'm going to have enough of this, of the orange, to do that. I might start it, and then like if I have to take out some rows to make it a little bit shorter because of yardage, then that's what I'll do. But he's super cute. I'm really excited about him. So I'm doing him in orange. His belly will be yellow. The inserts of his wings will be yellow. And then his spikes and the pads of his feet will be brown. I'm probably going to do like a cheater's little thing. I'm not going to make all these little nails for him. I'll just probably outline them in black or brown yarn, like outline like the paws of his feet, you know. I don't know if that makes sense. But he's super cute. All I have to do are these parts of the wings and the feet, and see where I am with yardage, and then sew him together. I don't have any more safety eyes, so I can't put safety eyes on him, which really annoys me because I had safety eyes, but then I used them all up. So the one project that I really needed, actually the safety eyes I had probably weren't big enough. I suppose it's not too late, like he's not sewn to clothes yet. Like if I got safety eyes it'd be okay, but I'll probably just end up sewing them on. It's fine. So that is almost done. That's been super fun to work on. It's nice to have a project like that I've really been wanting to do but haven't gotten around to because of I don't know what. I don't even have an excuse. Okay, that is one work in progress. That's what we're talking about. Oh, here's the yarn for the baby vertebrae. That's all I had left. I probably could have gotten a little bit of a sleeve on each one, but I didn't, so that's okay. I have 2 more works in progress. I actually have a third. I cast it on spur of the moment because it was kind of a stressful day, but I messed up big time. I was experimenting with circular yolks again and it did not work out, so I don't think I'm going to show it because it's something that I'll get to. But I do have these 2 works in progress. So one of my goals for June of whips I had and wanted to cast off my needles was a pair of socks. I have 2 pairs of socks going. I haven't touched socks in like weeks, so I wanted to get back into sock knitting, have a sock on the go. So I picked my vanilla sock. I had picked out some scraps from my stash and wanted to use up. I took some of them out and just ended up being a 2-color sock to get back into it, and it's a shorty. And I just finished it this morning. I haven't woven in the ends, they're all just tucked in. But I finished it this morning and I kind of love it. So it's just a shorty sock using my shortcut heel sock recipe. I substituted in my hat trick toe. I did my shortcut heel and garter stitch. So these are just scraps. This is Knit Picks Hawthorne, which is an 80-20 base, and this is Knit Picks Static, which is a 75-25. And I did this little stripe thing at the toe because I thought that would be fun. And yeah, just a nice little shorty sock. My sock blockers are back there, but I will probably drop them, so I'm not going to grab them and show you the sock pretty like that. So I did just do the ribbing. It's like the starting of the ribbing of the next sock. So I have high hopes of getting this done this week. My plan is to, on Friday, to reevaluate my projects for the week, and I would love to have this done by then, and then pick up maybe the other pair of socks I have, the shorty pair that is really fun that I just have to do. I don't know my problem. And another whip, I have made some progress on. I've made 2 more squares for my Tunisian crochet blanket. I love these squares. I've talked about this before, using Knit Picks Brava minis. I've done another mini so I can get 2 squares out of 1 mini, and then this yarn, I love this yarn in the ivory colorway. And I did pick out my next square. I've started it here, and I'm going to use this bright orange mini, which looks like a lot of fun. So this is really just I didn't intend to actually work on this week because I was going to start a different crochet project. I saw on Ravelry I believe it's called the Tulip square cardigan. I don't know, but it's super pretty. And I saw it and I literally was like, okay, I have to make this. And I just immediately ran off to get the supplies, get everything I needed for it. So it's a sad story, if we're being honest here. I did one square because like I decided to do, she didn't have like she just said like what the squares should measure. I don't know if she had like an actual gauge swatch. So I decided just to make a square and see how big it would be. So this was my first one and it was too small. And I will say, she has a video tutorial for how to do the square, which if you want to make this, I would recommend watching that. The link she has in her blog post for it, like I didn't see it, so I thought there wasn't a tutorial, so I struggled reading the written instructions. It's just starting the square. Like, there's something about me and with crochet and reading written instructions, like, just too many chain ones and then do another chain. It gets all jumbled in my head and I make so many mistakes. So it was a long process to get this center. So I thought I didn't have a 6.5 hook. I do, but I started my swatch with with just a 6 hook, I think. And so I found my 6.5 hook, which I didn't know I had, and tried to make another square. I thought I made 3, but I don't see the other one. Maybe I unraveled the other one. Long story short, I'm not in love with the fabric I'm getting. Like, just from her pictures and the way my square looks, I don't get the same definition of stitches that she's getting, and so it just makes me not happy. Like, I'm not getting the same effect, and I think it's because I'm using worsted weight yarn. The pattern calls for an Aran weight yarn. Now in my head, I'm like, I can easily substitute that, but I think for this pattern and the stitch definition, that's not going to work. So this project will not be happening at this stage, which is very sad because it's so pretty. Like, I just love the way it looks, and I love, like, this is just making a bunch of squares. I think actually for my size, I think I only had to make 10 squares and then some like triangles, and then yeah, but it's not happening at this moment until I find the right yarn. And honestly, I think I need a bigger hook size, because even the pattern calls for 6.5, with my gauge I need bigger hook size. I just need bigger crochet hooks in general. The biggest hook I have is a 6.5, or yeah, I think so. I don't know. We all know the story of the mystery hook by now, but I just need like a complete set of bigger hook sizes. I love crochet hooks and I need to get that. So this pattern will not be happening. All that to say is why I was working on my Tunisian crochet project and not this. Yeah, that makes sense. There's this project here that I showed last time. It's my fingering weight tee that I told you I was making a whole like create with me video. Spoiler alert, it does not end happily. So I don't want to talk about it right now. I'll make that video and talk about this tee. But long story short, I think I just need to stop trying to force myself to make summer tops, because even though I really want them, it's just not happening. Like, literally every summer top I've made, every garment I've tried to make recently, it has not gone well. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I'm trying too hard. It's not coming naturally. Like with this, the circular yokes, the crochet cardigan. Yeah, so I have worked on this, but it's not a happy story, so I won't talk about it in this video. So you can look out for the real video on my channel eventually. But yeah, I have worked on this. In my defense, I have worked on it. So that was another of my crafting goals, to get that done, and it's done. It's just not the way it should be. So now we're into some design talk, because I do have a pattern release happening. As you're seeing this, it should be, the pre-order should be up right now, and it is for my Princess Cuff shorties. So this is a shorty sock pattern that I actually designed last year and just never got around to publishing it. But it is now done. My testers made such beautiful socks. I can't wait. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at the FreeFormKnitter on Instagram, so that you can see the tester photos, because that's where I'll be sharing them. They're so pretty. I love my testers. I say this every time I have a pattern test, but my favorite part is when my testers show me their socks and tell me what they think, and their socks are just so pretty. It's so good. So here's the sock pattern. It's a very simple sock pattern, cuff down with my hat trick toe, stockinette, shortcut heel, and it's got this fun, probably show you better on this one, little cuff, picot cuff. It's a super easy technique, a super fun technique. And I have a complete tutorial showing you how to do it, like the 2 ways you can do it. And it's just got the slightest little detail of these garter ridges, which is one of my favorite details to do on socks, because one of my testers actually said, and I was so happy that she like agreed with me, it's almost like a self-striping, because like you're just like, oh well, I'm almost at the next garter ridge, so I'll just knit the next garter ridge, and then I'm almost at the next garter ridge. It's just very, very fun, and it really makes the sock go faster. So the premise for my pair, you don't have to do this if you are interested in making these socks, you can make them match, but I wanted to use up scraps, but I didn't want to color manage, because sometimes you're just not in the mood to change colors or match grams or whatever it is. So I ended up doing one sock in one color and one sock in the other, and so they're sisters, they're not twins, it's okay. Each of my socks I think took, I'm gonna say 25 grams, I think it's less, I think it's like 22 or 23. And it's just a great way to grab some like colors in your stash that are close but not exactly, and just knit a sock and not worry about them matching, because that's okay if they don't match completely. Is it okay if it doesn't match completely? I'm just thinking now about the sock I'm knitting. I do kind of want, because that static yarn line is a self-patterning, and I would really like it if it matched completely, but I'm trying not to stress about it. It's okay if it doesn't match completely. But these, like, they're tonals. They're not like completely opposite. I don't know what I'm saying. Basically, when it comes to a pair of socks, I'm not set on whether or not they have to match completely. It just depends on the pair, and depends on my mood, and depends whether or not I care at that moment. But for this, I thought it was a fun idea to just take some scraps and just knit 2 socks and have them, call them a pair, even though they might not look like it to you. Or I don't know, you get it, you understand. But I'm really excited about this pattern. It is available for pre-order right now, and there is noise outside. It is available for pre-order right now. You can pre-order the pattern until, I think I'm going to put it 1 week, where you can pre-order it for 25% off the full listing price. So take advantage if you're interested. I will have a link to my Ravelry shop right down in the description box where you can find it. Even if you're not interested in purchasing at this time, if you think they're pretty, if you could take a moment and just favorite the pattern, like it in the Ravelry, that helps other people find it. So that means a lot if you could take a moment to do that. If you are on Ravelry, if Ravelry is accessible to you, it means a lot. So really happy with these socks. I'm so happy that they're going to be out in the world, because like I've said, I've been sitting on this pattern for so long. It just, now it's ready, and I kind of want to make another pair, if I'm being honest. I have to look through my stash. Yeah, I think that is everything I have to talk about for this episode. The table behind me is empty now, except for a project bag and needles that I knit the baby vertebrae. I literally just finished that, so now the table behind me is empty. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you could, take a moment and comment down below something you were working on. I would love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Happy crafting!